All right, guys, welcome back to class 6. And in today's class, we are going to we're going to start talking about Selenium. I have given a little bit of understanding yesterday about what is Selenium and what is Selenium architecture. I'll go a little deep into that today. All right. And we are going to see what is a jar file, how to install and configure Selenium in your system, what is basics of HTML, and how does it look like. We'll create a small HTML site without any CSS or JavaScript, just a normal site. We will know how to create an instance of WebDriver using Chrome driver exe, and then we will understand browser console, okay, and discuss HTML tags and attributes, how to inspect web elements, and creating a basic automated test. That's what our motive is for today's class, right? So let's get started. I spoke about Selenium yesterday, but still I'll go through it one more time. Let me put this in the presentation mode. Okay, Selenium is an open source tool, okay, where open source tool for browser automation. That means any kind of web application we can automate. When I say automate, I can basically perform any kind of navigation, click on a web element, or selecting values from a drop-down, enter some information, all these different stuff I can do with Selenium. I can also perform different actions like, drag and drop of an element from one page to other page, or then we can actually handle multiple different browser windows. Okay, we will learn all of these in an advanced topic, right? So Selenium was created by Jason Higgins in ThoughtWorks 2004 when they were actually running, when they had to basically test a web application frequently. Okay, there are 3 flavors of Selenium. One is Selenium ID. I showed it to you yesterday that there is a Firefox add-on. With that add-on, all you can do is record and play. You can record some steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, like entering some information or clicking on a link or whatever it is. When you are performing that in a particular web page, what it will do is it will simply record those steps along with the components. Like when you're clicking on a button, it will understand that where the click is happening, so that button component, it will register in its memory. And when you play it, it will just keep on playing the same step over and over again, right? So, but that is not a good practice because ideally we need to create a maintainable test case. We have already seen earlier about dry principle, do not repeat yourself, right? So what does it mean? It means that we can create methods, custom methods, which will be built using multiple WebDriver steps, and those methods can be reused over and over again. Those kind of flexibility you will never get with Selenium IDE. Okay, Selenium IDE is just a tool for somebody to get a basic understanding of how automation looks like, and that's pretty much about it. Nobody uses Selenium in industry level projects. Selenium IDE in industry level projects. Next, we have Selenium WebDriver. That's the one we will learn. We will learn Selenium Grid. We will learn these 2 different components. Selenium WebDriver is used for extensive automated test scripts. We can create customized scenarios. And all of these things that I'm talking about, like navigating to page, clicking on a web element, we can create these steps from scratch. So when you create these steps from scratch, what will happen is you will be able to manipulate that. You will be able to manipulate that as per your requirement. You will be able to, maintain the scripts when your test suite grows, right? When test suite grows, like today you have 50 scenarios, tomorrow it can go to 600, 700 scenarios for one single suite, right? In my current organization, we have 2,800 scenarios, okay? Just for one application, we have the application that we test, 2,800 scenarios that we run. And believe me, with our mechanism that we are running right now, the whole suite runs it in around 35 to 40 minutes, okay, with the grid. Because with the grid, we can basically perform parallel execution. So 2,800 scenarios can be executed in like 40 minutes. That's a huge return on investment. Can you believe it? That can never be done through manual testing, never, right? So just let me check who else actually joined here. Okay, we have Vidya, Dipanita, Ravi, Pavan supposed to join. Okay, let's see. All right. So then, let me, okay, and then what we have is, sorry, then what we have is Selenium Grid. We can basically run the scenarios in a parallel. We will do all of these stuff later on, okay? Okay, let's talk about WebDriver one more time. I remember that yesterday when we were talking about WebDriver, people were already very tired and they didn't understand properly. So let me explain this to you one more time. What is there, okay? On the very extreme left, we have test scripts written in Java, okay? Simple Java, we will write test scripts, okay? In between your test scripts and actual browser, whether it is a Firefox or a Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari, whatever the browser is, we have WebDriver, okay? WebDriver is nothing but an application programming interface. When I say this particular word, application programming interface, ideally it is nothing but a library, or it's a jar file, okay? What is jar file? I will explain in a minute, but it's a library that you are downloading from a third-party website or a tool, okay? You download that particular API and you integrate that with your current project. Once you're done with that integration, you can simply call all the methods that this particular API exposes, okay? These methods we will use in order to perform action on the browser component or the web component, like button or drop downs, whatever it is, we will click on it, we will select value out of it, we will send text into it. All of these will be done through this particular WebDriver API. So which means you yourself is not responsible to create these native methods that will interact with the browser component. You don't have to do that. You simply have to use them, customize them as per your requirement, and that's pretty much about it, okay? So, all right, so what we have here is the WebDriver API in between. What WebDriver API does is, when you start the WebDriver API, I will show you how to start it. When we start the WebDriver API, it opens up a REST endpoint. I did show you to you yesterday that a particular endpoint is opened, okay? Which means if I actually, I don't know if I did show it to you, but let me actually do this to you one more time. So for example, I'll go to the browser console, and you can go to the browser console by hitting F12 in your browser. So I'll just say F12. That opens up your browser console. This is called the DevTools or browser console, right? I'm going to clear out everything. I'm going to just paste in or just call in hostelworld.com. Okay, hit enter. So as soon as the website is actually getting loaded, wow, so internet is really slow. Okay, that's weird. Just give me a second. Why it is so slow? Okay, let's see. I think you can hear me now. Not a problem. Okay, now what am I doing here is, so I'm going to actually pass on some information in this box. Okay, I'll go to this network tab here. This is the browser console on the right hand side, my dev tools of the Chrome browser. And we have this particular section here where I can enter some information. What am I entering? I'm entering Paris. So Paris, I'm giving some check-in date. Let's give it by, say, 1st of January, and check out 1st, 2nd of January. Just one guest, okay? And I hit enter. When I do that, you see what's happening. What's happening is millions of network calls are getting sent to a server which is computing something and returning back with the list of results. Okay, so actually what is happening here, if you actually look at this network calls that just we made, okay, you will see something here, right? For this particular application, you see that this is a network call that you made. Okay, so let's look at this guy. This is what? This is a hostelworld.com endpoint. This is a hostelworld.com endpoint or a server which accepts certain parameter. What are the parameters? Let's look at it. If I actually go down a little bit, you see, it accepted these parameters: Paris, France, country France, city Paris, date, so and so. What did it return? It actually not return. It actually posted a query to this particular URL. Okay, this thing can be done with any application. Any application you go to Amazon.com. Okay. Yeah, Vidya. Sorry, the voice is breaking. Is it? Okay, just let me try something. Hold on. So let me know if you are, if my voice is still breaking. Is it still breaking? Okay. So what I am explaining here is very, very crucial, guys. What I'm trying to say here is when I am making a search in this particular website called hostelworld.com with certain parameters, again breaking. What is not clear, Ravi? My voice is not clear? Or the concept?
No, I said everything is clear. I can hear everything is clear. Someone,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine. So Ravi, look, what I'm right now discussing from the starting of the class is nothing to do with Java. It is all on Selenium WebDriver. I'm trying to show you what is WebDriver like and what is this architecture means.
Yeah.
Where is the architecture? Okay, where is that? No. Here. So this is the
Yeah,
architecture.
I'm there from this earlier, this slide. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're fine, right? So we
Yes,
have
yes.
WebDriver, and this WebDriver is opening an endpoint. What is an endpoint? I'm trying to explain that to you. So when I'm searching in hostelworld.com with certain parameters, these are the parameters that I'm passing to this application: Paris, France, country France, city Paris, date from and to, number of guests. When I actually passed on these parameters, what happened is the server actually accepted these parameters and returned back with certain response. Let's go to the response tab here. Okay, this response tab is coming to me in a HTML format, and actually if I go down a little bit, this is weird. It's coming in HTML format. Let me see. Yeah, see this. So the response can come back to you in different format, right? So in this case, it is coming back to us in a HTML format. In some application, it will come back to you in a JSON format. Depending on the application architecture, the developers or the dev team or the architect team will decide that what kind of response they will send back. This server, this web services server is capable enough to send an entire page in the response. So look at this. It's a H1 tag. Okay, H1 means the header tag. 137 hotels in Paris. Let's look at this particular text in the page. Can we see that? 137 hotels in Paris. Let's see. Command F. We will try to find it. 137. No. Where exactly this page is coming? Have to check something else. 137 hotels in Paris. There's a H1 tag. It should be somewhere up here.
It will pop up on the top when you're searching that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm not able to find that guy. 137 hotels in the Paris. Because it is clearly a H1 tag, which should come in the very first. Okay, anyway, let's go down a little bit and let's try to find out something else that makes sense. So here you see calendar 1st January 2020, first night. You see that? Calendar. You see that? There is a FA calendar. There's a calendar object. You see there is a calendar over here, right here. And then it says 1st January 2020, first night. One night. That's exactly what we got. Then we see one guest. Okay? You see here. So the entire page is returned back from that response. Let's go down. Okay? Let's go down. Let's look at some name. Generator Paris. You see here, Generator Paris is the first result. So let's try to find out here in this section. Generator. To understand the architecture of this guy properly. Some sections are coming, some informations are definitely coming from the response, but not the entire page. So every application is different, right? So you have to understand. Hostel, this is Generator Paris. Let me copy this guy. Okay. I just moved to the another page. Just 1 minute. Let me go back to the previous page here. And we were looking at which one? Search. Yeah, here,
Can we
search.
see like an element, right? With the, if we click on that arrow, we can see that element.
No, we will come to the element part later on. All I'm trying to show you here is that what is a REST endpoint? What is an endpoint? Endpoint is nothing but a web server which will be accepting certain parameters and which will respond to you back with some information. That's all. That's what I'm trying to show you here. I'll come to elements and everything later on. But all am I trying to find here is Generator Paris. I don't know. It's not showing here. It's 137 results. Some information was shown, but not the one that I'm looking for. Yeah, some information is shown. Or maybe I'm not looking at the right query. Maybe it's a different query. Maybe it's a different query. I don't know. I have to understand. I have to see to it, all the calls, and then figure it out. But anyway, I hope you get the point. The point is that this particular WebDriver exposes a particular endpoint, a server, and then you are sending some information. What you're sending here, you're sending a command. This test case is sending a command saying .click. When .click command is sent to WebDriver, what WebDriver will do, it will basically process it further to the browser. Okay, in the browser, it will basically run the command .click by performing some JavaScript action. Using JavaScript, you can actually perform .click. So if I actually take you back to Google and say JavaScript to perform click on a web element. Okay. If I do that, now just see. No, this is WebDriver. I don't want to use WebDriver. Yeah. This guy, JavaScript executor. Let's check. So you see that arguments.click is basically a JavaScript call that you perform, okay, in a particular element in the page. How do you do that? WebDriver will take care of doing that by calling a method called .click. Okay, when you call a method called .click in your test case, that information is passed on to WebDriver in form of a JSON wire protocol, in form of a JSON request or JSON request. And then WebDriver performs that action in the web browser by running a JavaScript command. Once the JavaScript command is executed, the browser responds back with a status code that whether the click or the operation was successful or not. So when it is 200, okay, then it means if the response code is 200, then it means it's a successful action. If the response code is 400 or 500, it means it's the action didn't work out, and it will throw you with some kind of an exception. Okay, so that same response code comes back to WebDriver, and then it comes back to the actual test case, and that's where you know the line that you're executing is actually executed properly. What is JSON? JSON means JavaScript object notation. What is JavaScript object notation? Let me show you something. I'll go to Google and just say JSON. Okay. You know what? I can show you something which is pretty good. Look at this. I was just in the morning, I was doing something in my office. Look at this. This is a JSON object. What is this? It is actually having some key value pair. This is a key and that's a value. This is a key and that's a value. So this is basically a JSON object in the modern times, in the current times, when you are supplying information from one end to the other end, the preferred choice is JSON. JSON, then XML, these are your preferred choice. When you're sending some information over HTTP, you are sending it through JSON. Okay, so you are basically sending. So what happens here is when your test case runs, that click method that you are calling from your test will actually send the click information to WebDriver using a JSON request or as a JSON object, where it will mention that what is that click is all about. It will say that this is the element in which you are trying to perform a click operation. And then WebDriver will understand that, and WebDriver will execute a JavaScript command on the browser for the element, and browser will respond back with a status code. So that is what exactly is the Selenium architecture. I want to know if you have any questions. Any doubt on this? Yes, no? Any doubt, guys?
Savik, I have a quick question.
Go on.
Let's say when you're writing some test case or test scenario on this, and then we need to select ourselves like as in a which format like as in a we going it's going to be appear on the backend in the server, or else like it's
No,
already
no, 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 no. That happens completely behind the scene. WebDriver is responsible for doing all of it.
all right. Okay.
Yeah. So you are just going to write a plain Java test case. Why we are using WebDriver? Because WebDriver is a automation tool, open source automation tool that supports cross-browser testing. What is cross-browser testing? Which means your test case that you're writing in Java can be that you're writing for Chrome can be executed in Firefox on a different platform. So you have written a test case in a Chrome browser in a Windows. You can run the same test case in a Firefox browser in Mac. How that is happening? Because Selenium WebDriver is basically an open source cross-browser or test automation tool. So whatever test case you write in any, but for any particular browser can be executed on any other browser. Why it is happening? That you will understand when you understand the concept of interface in Java, which I will let you know in later on. Okay. Okay. So that is that.
Can you tell this picture in short in 2 lines if I want to tell someone else? So how could I say in 2 lines I want to explain?
Okay. So you will basically say that WebDriver is an API that is sitting between test case and the browser. WebDriver opens up a REST endpoint which accepts the event from your test case, like .click or .send keys, and then converts it into a JavaScript execution or a JavaScript event, and that gets fired in the browser, and then browser responds back with the status code. This whole concept is called as JSON wire protocol because of only one reason, that is the .click or .send keys method is actually sending the information to WebDriver as a JSON object where it talks about .click operation or where it talks about which element that is to be clicked. Is that clear? I mean, I really cannot say it in 2 lines because it's a long thing to explain.
Yes, I understood, but it's great. Yeah, thank you.
You got the point, right?
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So that is basically Selenium is all about. Okay. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, I just have a question slide. Okay. Before I move on to anything else, we will understand what is jar file. Okay. Jar file is basically called as Java archives. Okay. So a jar is a package file format that contains compressed version of .class files. Okay. .class file, audio files, image files, or directories, everything can be compressed together and you can create a .jar file out of it. Okay, let me explain this to you very, very clearly. Okay, so any Java project can be exported as a jar file and then imported into to another project as a library. I will exactly do this right now in front of you, and you will understand what is a jar file. Okay, it's a very, very simple thing. Let me go back to my program. Okay. All right. Why am I talking about jar file? Because yeah, Dipanita, sorry, you're saying something? Dipanita, do you want to say something? Okay. All right. So I'm going to just create a jar file. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to create a project. Simple project. This is class 6, right? Java project, class 6. Finish. Don't create. So I've created a Java project, class 6. That's fine. And then let's say this guy here. Yesterday we were talking about Java practicals. Yeah, car. Okay. So this car class that we have here. Okay. What I will do is, my whole motive is that this whole package that I created here, this whole project that I created here called Java Practicals, my whole motive is that this whole project, I want to convert this whole project as a library. What do I mean by library? I mean that these classes that I created, like assignment class, like the car class, like the create student class, or the generate cars class, or the students class, whatever classes I created, I actually want to get all of these. I want to actually access all of these methods or these classes into a different project, not in the same project. In the same, accessing them in the same project is very easy. But I want to actually convert this whole project, this Java Practicals project, to a jar file, which is going to be a library file. And then I will simply add that library file into another project. Let's see how to do that. Very simple thing to do. Okay, just see. In this Java Practical project, I will say file. I will say export. Okay, it will ask me that what exactly you're trying to export as. So I will say Java. If I open this, it says jar file. Okay, there are 3 options. One is called runnable jar. One is called jar file. We will not choose runnable jar. What is runnable jar? Runnable jar is something like this. When you double click on the jar file, it will execute a program. That is not something that we want. We want to create a jar file, a normal jar file. So I click on it. I say next. Okay, and then it is asking me for some more information. It says export generated class file and resources. I mean, it's asking me what all information inside this Java Practicals class you want to add in the library. Okay, so I said export generated class files and resources. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. I just want this guy. That's it. I will name this file to something. So let me just say, where exactly is this guy? Student QA December 19. I don't know where they keep it. Oh, it's in the same package. Okay, I'll just keep it in the desktop for now. Okay, in the desktop, do I have a Wisdom QA? Yeah, here. Okay, that's it. And inside this, I'm going to create a jar file. So let's name it this jar file as test sample.jar. Make sense? I will say save. Okay, I'll say finish and save modified resources. That's okay. Export finish with warnings. That's okay. And done. If I take you to my desktop now, that's my desktop. I have Wisdom QA folder, and I have the .jar file somewhere. Test sample.jar file. Okay, I created. Now, what is this? This is a library for me, which means all the classes that were there inside the Java practice project is now within this jar file. Okay. Now what I will do, I want to simply add this jar file in the new project that I have just created. How do I do that? Very simple. I go back to my Eclipse again. I am going to class 6. And what I will do, I will say right click on it. I will say properties. Okay. I will go to Java build path. You have to know this. I know this because I do it 100 times a day. You don't know this right now, but you will get to know this once you practice. That's simple, as simple as that. It's nothing complicated. Okay, you just need to know where to go. That's it. Normal navigation.
Can you do it a little bit slow? I'm taking a screenshot of it.
Don't take this. You have the video, right?
I have the video, but screenshot also will be helpful while I'm doing it. I just a bit slow.
Okay. So which part? This part or the previous part?
Yeah, this part.
Okay. So I just go to right click. I say properties. Okay. In the properties, you have Java build path. You select the Java build path and you go to libraries. Right now, I just have only one single library here in this section. That is JRE system library. That's all. I want to add a new library. Okay. So what I can do is I can say I clicked on module path, which means the root of the project, and then I say add library. That's all. And it says what type of library I want to add. Okay. So I'll say no. Wait a minute. Not this library. Add jars. Add external jars. Not add library. Sorry. Add external jars. I click on external jars, and now it is asking me that where exactly from where I want to choose the jar. So you know I have kept my jar in my Wisdom QA folder. So that's my test sample jar. I say open. That's got added. I say apply and close. Okay, that's added. Now, once that is added, if I actually open up this section, test sample jar is added. And in the top section, JRE system library is there, which by default gets added to any Java project. Okay, don't bother about it. This part, if I expand this guy, you see Java basics.assignments package is there, which is exactly the same package that we saw here. If I open this up, I have all my .java file compiled to a .class file. Now, what is the benefit? The benefit is this. I'm creating a new package here. Okay, I'll name this package as test Java. Ravi, if you're not understanding, don't bother. I told you that I'll sort that for you. Okay.
Sure. Actually, whatever the jar files you have provided in that folder in the Google Drive, okay, with the
In
assignments
the
and all.
Google
So
Drive?
I was.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
In the Google Drive, where did I provide jar file?
Yeah, that Java practical jar files or zip file you provided.
It's a zip file. It's a whole project file. It is not a .jar file. What I did exactly when I was copying the project file into your drive is I simply went here in this location, show in Project Explorer or System Explorer. This guy here, right here, first project, I copied and pasted there in the Google Drive. This is not a .jar file.
Okay.
Okay. Why I gave you? Because you can go inside this file, go into source, and go to add beneficiary or whatever it is, and you can open this .java file in your text editor. That's why I gave it to you, so that you can see that source code.
Okay. I actually tried to import it or open it in my Project Explorer or Package Explorer, but I was not able to. So that's
Okay. Okay, I will show it to you how to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Don't. Just give me a minute. Okay, sorry. So what I am doing here is different. I am converting a project, a separate Java project, to a .jar file, and then accessing that, adding that .jar file as a library to another project. Okay, by doing that, what is the benefit? The benefit is this: whatever you have created in a different project now can be accessible into another project. You see, I created a .NET test Java package. Inside that, I'm creating a class file. I'll just say the class file name as anything, sample test, right? And a main method, right? Finish. Actually, I will close others, other tabs, close others. So I close others. I just have this, right? Now in this particular project, I don't have, mind it, I don't have the students class or the car class, right? But let's see. I'll say car Ferrari equals new car. It was a car or cars? Let me just check it. It was a car, right? And I just created an object of car. It is giving me an error, okay? Because it is not able to understand where this car is coming from, because it is not a part of this current project yet. I mean, I have added that, but I have not told this class, that where to find the car. So it is giving me this error. Now, if I hover on top of it, you see what happens. It gives me something. It says import car. I click on it, and it's coming from Java basics.assignments.car class, and this is done. Make sense? Now I can go ahead and just call all the other methods that we used yesterday. .get brand, .get engine, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, everything is accessible from, that is coming from a different library. Okay? This is a jar file. Make sense? Any questions? Ravi, what about you? Pavan, Ravi?
Yeah, I gone through yesterday one, so then that's fine. So
No. Did you understand the logic of adding the jar file to the class file?
no.
Okay. So what am I trying to do here is, Ravi, that yesterday I have created a project, a Java project, where I have created a class file, and I named it as car. This is the class file I created yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So the point is that I'm trying to convert this whole Java practicals project into a library.
Okay.
Library means that whatever I have created inside this project, ideally I want to access them from another project. Okay?
Okay.
Let me explain this again in a paint. Just a minute. Paint. Okay? So I will just new. Okay. So what is happening is very simple. I'm creating a project. Okay? I named it as project 1. Project 1. In the project 1, I have some class files. Okay? Class 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. All these class files are created to perform certain operation. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this entire project that I've created here, I'm trying to access all these class files that are there in this particular project into another project. So what I'm doing is, I've created another project, sorry. I've created another project and I named it as project 2. Okay. In this project, ideally, I want to access all these class files, class 1, class 2, class 3. I want to access them into project 2. How can I do that? I can actually compress all these project files. I can compress, like, you know, WinZip or WinRAR. These are the tools that we use to compress all the files. Okay, and then we send it from one place to other place, right? You can compress them. Similarly, you can compress the, I'm compressing project 1 into a .jar file. Okay, .jar file. It means Java archive file. Okay, and once I have that here, I can then add it. I can add it, import it to the project 2. This is my importing. I'm importing it. Importing library. Importing project 1, you can say. Project 1 as a jar into project 2, so that now the project 2 will have the access to class 1, 2, 3. You see that? This is what exactly I did. Does it make sense now?
That's perfect.
You understood that, right?
Yes, yes.
Why am I saying this? I'm just coming to that point now. Okay. So, where is that? Okay, here. No, not even here. I want to go back to my here. Okay. So we have the jar file. I just showed you how to create the jar file and how to add the jar file. Why did I speak about jar file? I spoke about jar file because I want to configure and install Selenium into my project. That is the reason why I wanted to talk about jar file. Okay, why? The reason is this. Let's go to Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium as a tool is a third-party tool, right? It's an open source third-party tool. Yeah, Pavan, you understood? You're good with that? The explanation is okay?
Yeah, perfect. Go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm here with you.
Okay, cool. So what I'm saying here is that the Selenium is basically a open source tool, right? I spoke about that. So they have an official website. It's called as selenium.org, seleniumhq.org. It is now changed to something else. I just saw that a week back. If you click on seleniumhq.org, this is basically the new site of theirs, right? Selenium.dev. In the selenium.dev, if you go, so what selenium.dev is doing? It is saying that go on and you can download respective tools. It is giving you Selenium IDE, Grid, and WebDriver. So what I will do, we will work on the WebDriver for now, right? So I'll say download. When I say download, it basically takes you to another downloads page. And basically here, it is showing you some information. So we will actually download this guy called Selenium server, which is also the grid. So grid, we will learn later on, the grid jar file that we will be actually installing now in our project will be working as a WebDriver as well as a grid. That means you can perform all your actions on the browser, on the web page. Also, you can run parallel tests. So your parallel testing capabilities and your browser testing capabilities, everything is right now merged into one single jar file. And that is the jar file that we are going to download now. It's called, the version is 3.141.59. So I click on this guy and it is downloads. Okay, I say keep. This is the, you see, this is what it got downloaded. Show in Finder. So this is what got downloaded, called Selenium server. Sorry, let me try to, you see, Selenium server standalone 3.141.59.jar. It's a jar, guys. Okay, this is the reason why I wanted to show you what is a jar file, because you should know what is a jar file all about. Now, once you have downloaded this jar file, what do you have to do? You have to import that, add that into your library, as a library into your project. Simple. How can I do that? I have just shown that to you. So I'll do it one more time. What I will do is I'll go back to class 6 project. I will remove this guy.
So its main purpose only is to use from one project to another project. That's it, right?
That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. So Selenium guys who actually developed the site, the team who developed the site, seleniumhq.org or selenium.dev, these guys have exposed a .jar file to us. All I have to do is I have to import that jar file into my current project. That's all. Make sense? So what I will do now is the old library which I created, like sample test, right? I don't want this guy anymore. I said don't save. I don't want this guy anymore. Okay. What I will do is I will remove the old library. Go to properties. Okay. Go to Java build path. In the test sample jar is there. Remove. Okay. I removed it. All done. I will add something. What will I add? Module path. I will add an external jar. I just showed it to you how to do that. Add external jar. Simple. Downloads. And what did I download? I downloaded a Selenium server standalone. This one, right? I just downloaded this guy. So I click on it. I say open. Apply and close. And that's got added. Now, as soon as that's got added, what happened is, let's look at what happened. I expand the reference libraries section. And Selenium standalone server jar is now with me here. Now let's expand this. See what happens. There are hundreds and thousands of packages that are supplied to you by the Selenium HQ community. Okay? Hundreds and thousands. And every one of these packages are having thousands of .class files, which are doing something in the background. Do I need to know all of them? No. I don't need to know all of them. I need to know things that are required for me in terms of writing a test case. Like what's happening here, parameter validator. I don't need that. It's something internally getting used by the Selenium server itself or Selenium jar file itself. I'm not bothered about it. I'm bothered about only certain things that are required for me to write my test case, such as I'm going to create a script, a very simple script. I'm going to say this, WebDriver. No, Not web driver. I will not write that. I'll say Chrome driver. Chrome driver. Just a minute, I'm holding something in my hand. Just keep that and write it properly. Okay, so Chrome driver, Chrome equals new Chrome driver. What exactly is this line doing? We have seen this line multiple times earlier. I'm creating an object of Chrome driver. I'm creating an object or an instance of Chrome driver. Right? Okay, just one thing I told you yesterday about, I mean, are you guys following my chats in the community channel? I spoke about this guy here called instance variable.
Yes.
Can anybody tell me what is the difference between instance variable and reference variable quickly?
Reference variable is an object. By using it, we are accessing the instant variable in the base class.
Not base class. Base class is
like
something
sub,
different.
Okay, so
No. Don't use base class, subclass. No.
Okay.
The class that you have created, that is having some variables.
Okay.
You're creating an instance of the class. Okay. And you're creating an instance of the class and you're naming that instance, and that name that you have given is called as reference variable. So you're saying student Vidya equals new student. So Vidya is a reference variable. Okay?
Yes.
And then when I say inside the student, there is already a variable called name. So if I say Vidya.name, the name is instance variable because the reference variable is basically, I mean, using the reference variable, you're accessing the instance variable, the variable inside the class.
Yes. So this the.
Go on.
So how will I refer the class which is having the instance variable?
You will not refer the class using instance variable. So this is a car, right? I'm sorry, I just distracted because I wanted to show you and just came into my mind. So this is my students class. I have name, location, job, right? In the create students, I say students with their students. This guy right here is a reference variable. Reference variable. Okay. And then if I am trying to call this method saying dot set name, I'm setting the name Vidya to the instance variable called name. The name is the instance variable. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is what I actually added to in the Slack in the morning, but nobody responded. Please, guys, use this particular platform wisely. When I'm sending something, at least acknowledge that you got it or you didn't get it or whatever it is. I'll help you. You have a problem when you're practicing it, post it here in this channel. Don't send a mail or so don't send a WhatsApp message. Post it here in the channel. I use this. This is my office. I mean, this is my laptop, which is which I can use everywhere. All these channels are accessible to me everywhere, every time. Whether I'm in the phone or I'm in the office, wherever it is, I have the access to it always, and I can easily reply back to you as soon as I get a message.
But
right?
you have told it yesterday itself. You didn't miss it, but
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't miss it yesterday. You have told it like reference variable and instance variable. You have.
Did I thought I missed it. I thought, I mean, in the morning when I was actually uploading the video, I thought that I missed it. Anyway, that's good. So let me just come back to my program again. I got distracted, sorry. So don't save this guy. Okay, so we have sample test, right? In the sample test, I have created a simple Chrome driver reference variable called Chrome. Chrome driver is a class. It is giving me the error exactly the same reason for which we were getting the error earlier. It is not able to understand where this Chrome driver is coming from. Even though I added it into the project, it is not able to understand. Perfectly fine. I go ahead and I hover on top of it. It says import Chrome driver. Super, no problem at all. It got imported. I'm getting Chrome driver. I did that. Run as Java application. That's it. That was the problem. The problem was, don't add it because there's a new version of Eclipse which I have not used because I don't work on Eclipse anymore. I work on VS Code for JavaScript, right? So the problem was that when I was trying to add it in the new version of Eclipse, I'm adding this guy not in class path, but I'm adding in the module path. And as per the blog, you just saw that, where is that blog? Yeah, as for the blog, it says delete module info.java, which means it was something to do with the module that I can understand. So the point is, this is a problem that I just got it right now, and I fixed it right now. So which means that when you will start working on your projects, you will also face hundreds of issues similarly. So you need to start researching, start looking at different blogs, go to Stack Overflow or different blogs, look into the problem, and then try to fix it on your own. That's how you learn how to fix stuff, right? So anyway, we are done with that. Now, we are getting an exception, which is understandable. What is the exception? It says the path2 driver executable must be set by WebDriver.ChromeDriver. Okay. What exactly? Yeah, go on.
We have added in class under class, right?
Yeah.
So is it applicable class path?
Yeah,
is
this
it
is
applicable
my.
only for this class or like?
No, this is going to be the class path. It will work out for everything.
Okay.
Because I'm adding in it in the project level. You see, I'm not adding in the class level. I'm adding it in the project level. Properties, and in the project level, you're adding this. It is showing class path, but class path of all the projects. I mean, class path of the project. All the class path of the same project.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So now it is giving me some error saying the path to driver executable must be set by this guy, system property. So what I have to do, I have to write some command. What is that command? You have to write this section saying system dot set property. You know what? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Because we know the problem now. So actually I will not use Selenium server 10, right? I don't need that. I will use the latest one. Why to use the old one? So add external jars. I will just go and get the latest one, 3.14, right? Open, apply and close. If I run it, I will still get the same error again. Run as. Yeah, I get the same error. So we are set. We are using the latest version. So system dot set property. Set property, and set property. In set property, I have to basically specify the property name as this guy. Okay, what is a property? Why am I using this? So the point is that in order to trigger your test cases against Chrome browser or Firefox browser or IE browser, you need to use, along with the WebDriver API or the Selenium standalone server jar that I used, along with that, you also need to use what? A driver, a browser driver, okay? So that your commands gets processed to the browser, okay? So when I'm trying to do that, you need to specifically, explicitly mention where exactly this driver.exe is located. So every other browser driver is different from a different browser. Every other browser driver is different from the other one, right? So the way your command for click is getting processed in Firefox is not same for Chrome. So to execute a command like click to get executed, to execute a command like click in Chrome is totally different than that is in Firefox. So which is why you need to download browser specific exe files. Okay, so I will just download that, right? What I will do is I will go to the Selenium download section again, and in here, browsers, platform supported by Selenium browsers. If I open this, I have Chrome, and go to the documentation, click on the documentation. Inside that, it says the latest stable release, Chrome driver, so and so. This is the .exe file. So let's look at this. WebDriver is an open source tool for automated testing of web apps across many browsers. It provides capabilities for navigating to web pages, import, JavaScript execution, and more. Chrome driver is a standalone server that implements W3C protocol. Chrome driver is available in Chrome on Android and Chrome on desktop. So basically what it's trying to say here is that if you are trying to execute any command on a Chrome browser, that command gets processed using a Chrome driver. It is a .exe file. So I will download the Chrome driver. You see, this is my Mac. So I will download this guy, mac64.zip. So let's download that. Let me show in Finder. Let me open this up. This is my Chrome driver. The actual, it's a Unix executable for me. For you, it is not a Unix executable. For you, it is a .exe file, a normal Windows executable. I have to point my browser to this location. So I will actually copy this. I will copy this and paste it in my Wisdom QA folder. Okay, this is the location, right? Now I just want to check one thing. I want to check that what exactly is the extension for it. I think it's just Chrome driver. That's it. Nothing more than that. So what I will do is I will have to pass on the information, right? What is the information? Like where is the location of this particular guy? So let me do a get info again. So basically this is my location. User Wisdom QA. That's my location. Okay. So what I will do is I will simply go back to my project.
Can you share the link where can we download the latest version of Chrome driver.exe?
Yeah, I will do that. I will do that. So now we have that here. Okay, so I'm going to just pass on the information. So it is Chrome driver. That's pretty much about it. Let's try to run this program now. Okay. Does not exist. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. It is actually trying to find it again under this package. I mean this particular project itself. Okay. So what I can do is I can actually do one thing. I can copy the Chrome driver itself directly inside this project. Later on, when we start learning Maven, things will be much easier. Okay, this setting up these things will be totally different. We will do it in a different way. Not Maven actually. Maven is not required for this. But anyway, I will show you how to set it up in a different location and then access it in your project. For now, let us try to actually put this Chrome driver inside the project itself. Now, 1 minute. Okay, let me create a folder, new folder, and I'll name this as a driver. I'll keep all my drivers here. Inside this, I will just copy my Chrome driver and paste it. Okay, that's my Chrome driver here. Perfect. So what I can do is I have this guy here till Windows QA Selenium test. That's my project. We understand that. Inside this, I will just have driver / Chrome driver, right? Driver is the project folder inside which Chrome driver is the exe that will run. Let's trigger it again. What's happening? Okay. Chrome driver. Driver Chrome driver.exe. Let's try this. No? Why it is not pointing it? Okay, let me do one thing. I will use something called as system dot get property, system dot get property. I will just explain what am I doing. 1 minute. User dot directory. So this guy is going to point me to this project. Inside this project, I have the driver. Inside that, I have Chrome driver. Set earlier. So which is why in Windows it's quite simple. In Mac, it is basically creating a problem for me. Dipanita, can I just do that for into your system, and I can just figure this out with Mac later on. At least we will have the recording for the Chrome driver in your system, right? So what I will do is, let me make you the co-host. It's fairly simple in Chrome. I mean, in Windows. In Mac, I think in Mac the way the path is set is different. I have to just figure this out. So I'm going to make you a co-host, and you can then share the screen. Okay, Devanita? All right. Just 1 minute. So I made you co-host. I'm going to stop the share now. You can share the screen. Okay. What I will do is, you already have Eclipse. I'm going to ask you for control. Hold on. So, Bonito, I can see your screen. Yeah, request remote control. I requested remote control. Okay. So that's good. I'm going to just simply create a new package here. Can you just create a new package for me? Or I don't know, the click is not happening. Can you create a new package under SRC? Just name it Selenium test package. Name it as Selenium test. No, all in small letters. I told you, right? All in small letters. All in small letters. It's not in small letters. All in small letters. Dibanita.
Sorry.
No. Wait. No package info. Finish. Okay. Now create. Before that, download the Selenium jar file. Go to selenium.dev in Chrome. Selenium.dev. Yeah. .dev. Okay. And download the jar file. Go inside it. And go to the first section. Go down. WebDriver download. Yeah, go down. Download. Click on the latest stable version. Right hand side. Yeah, click on that. Okay, it is downloading it. In the meanwhile, go down. Scroll down. Even further. Go down. Keep going. Go down. Okay. Oh, expand the browsers. Wait. Expand the browsers. Now go down. Click on the Chrome documentation. Documentation. Yeah. And then download the latest stable release here. 79. Yeah. Download that. Okay. Now you see our Windows. Win32. Click on that. Yeah. Okay. That's that. And on the right hand side, it says keep. Click on keep. On the right hand side, keep, bottom keep. Okay. So everything is downloaded. Now just get the location of the jar file. Right click on the jar file.
Yeah.
That's not the jar file. That's the exe. This is a jar file. Right click on it. Go to the show in folder, like the location of it. Yeah. Right. And this is the location. So copy the location. Cancel it. So it's on the downloads, right? Copy the location.
Location?
Yeah, location. Copy it. Yeah. Now go back to your project and Java practicals. Go to the root of the project, Java practical. Yeah, right click on it. Go to the properties. Go to the Java build path. Right? Go to the libraries. Go to add external jars. Right? And here on the top, yeah, here. Paste. Hit enter. And go down and see your Selenium jar file. Go down. Yeah, Selenium 310, 314, 314. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, that's added. Apply and close. Okay. Now, in the Selenium test package, right-click and create a new class. New class. Say Selenium test. Yeah, Selenium test. And main method. Finish. Okay. And then in the main method, write in the main method, remove that, and write in Chrome driver equals new Chrome driver. Chrome driver, capital D, yeah, driver equals new Chrome driver. And now just hover on the Chrome driver, give a semicolon at the end of the line. Add a semicolon, yeah. Now hover on this, import Chrome driver. Perfect. Now try to run it. Save this file. Yeah, now try to run the file. And it gives you, go down and open the, expand the console, bottom, expand the console. Yeah, and then you're seeing the error saying, go to the left. It says, executable must be set webdriver.chrome driver. Just copy that portion, webdriver.chrome.driver. Just copy that portion, yeah. Copy it. Okay. And just before the Chrome driver, write the line system.setProperty. Above that. Yeah. Say system.setProperty. System.setProperty. You already have the option. Set property, not properties. Set properties. Yeah, set property. Yeah, go on. Click on that. And here in double quotes, add the property name. Add a double quote. Yeah. Within double quote, Control V. Good. And here on the right hand side, you have to pass on the location of your Chrome driver exe, right? So what you do is you go and get the location of your Chrome driver exe. It's still there in the download section, right? You have to expand. Yeah, you have to unzip it. Right click and unzip. Right click and extract here. That's it. So now you should have Chrome driver somewhere in the bottom, maybe. Go down.
It's not get extracted, I think.
No, it should be extracted.
Better keep on clicking that is C. By clicking the letter C, it takes you to the.
Okay, this one I think.
Yeah, here. Right, so we have that here. So just copy it and take it back to the Java location. Right. Double slash.
Where is the slash?
In your keyboard.
Okay.
And then say Chrome driver.exe. Just write in Chrome driver. Just the name, Chrome driver.exe. Yeah. .exe. Right? Now just complete the line and trigger the execution.
Semicolon.
Yeah. And then trigger the execution. Save it. Okay, saved. Yeah. Now you will see this will bring up a Chrome driver, a Chrome browser in your application. So the Chrome browser is starting 79 version. Is it started in the background? No, it started. You should start it. This is running. Yeah, it is. Yeah, see, it's there. Okay. So now you can actually stop that. In the next line of the Chrome driver, exe, just close this. Yeah, it's stopped now. In the next line, line number 11, line number 11, line number 11, line number 12 now. Go to line number 12 now. Yeah. Write driver.get and within brackets, you just give a quote, double quote, and give the URL that you want to go. So just say HTTP yeah, amazon.co.uk maybe. Yeah, amazon.co.uk. Right? This is the basic method that we just called, which is in the WebDriver API, and you are simply processing your command, the one that I have explained, right? On the left-hand side, we have a test case, and you are simply processing your command to the WebDriver API, which will in turn will be affected in your browser, right? And the browser is responded with the status, like if the command was executed properly or not, and your test case gets to know that the line was successfully executed or not. That's pretty much about it.
Then
right?
how to close it? Driver.close.
No, close. Yeah, this is called driver.quit at the end. Driver.quit will close the browser, right? So this is what I wanted to actually record today. But anyway, I don't know what happened with my Mac. I have to somehow figure it out how to give the right path, and then I'll show it to you tomorrow. But for now, you can see that how it is getting executed in your system. And I think we have already covered. We just covered. We have just completed like 2 hours. It's just 10. That's fine. So I think that's pretty much about for today. I'll come back tomorrow